Okay, so we left off in kind of the middle of Nala. You guys are in the district that is in the center, where that kind of leads off to all of the other districts. Tarask and Dane have just left the Scholar Daniel's his bookbinder's storefront and his secret area down there. You guys came back from there, and he sent you off to go find your companions because he could sense that you were going to meet back up with them anyway, and that this thing that he has for you to do is going to require you to basically devote yourselves to this in some way or shape or fashion. And so you've made your way back to the center of Nala, whereas Korak and Ishtar, you guys have made your way back from the trade district where you met with Herndon and Korak's former
Kenya. And
yeah,
Kenya.
Oh, yes, the high elf.
Can't forget about Kenya.
Okay, yes, you had posted a little thing that said Korak, or you wrote Korak is the best on top of the picture of Yathgald. Yes, you found out that Mariel Olajar is the bookie that books Yathgald, and Herndon has given you a written note to go to the Rise and Grind lunchroom, where it's his choice of venue for all of his gladiators, and Korak's been there plenty of times. And yes, so you've separated, you're coming back, and then as you were coming back, you hear screams off in the distance, and you see these undead flooding into the city. And you see there's this massive, I know last week I said 2 stories tall, bigger than that, this massive skeleton just toppling buildings, and the wall to the outside of Nala clearly has destroyed that.
Saw the picture on Facebook.
Yes.
That's big.
Yes. It is. It's huge. And as you were standing there, like, jaws agape looking at this thing, this cart comes rolling in. And now I left some details out as it was rolling in. So you see this cart rolling in, and it's royally adorned. It's got, it actually has, I'll tell you, on the side of it, it has an emblem of a stone hand grasping a purple orb, and then it's set on a gray background. But part of this canvas on this wagon is ripped. There's 2 horses. They just come steaming in as fast as they can, pulling this cart, and you catch a glimpse inside, and you can see this man of royal stature inside, but he's got knights over top of him guarding him, and as the horses make the turn coming in from the gate to go by you, the cart begins to tip over on 2 wheels, and you see on the back end there's some skeletons that are clinging onto the cart, fighting 2 other knights that are trying to fight them from the inside of the cart and from the back of the cart. And so it's just complete chaos that you see happening before you. And before we roll initiative, I'll give you guys one action to decide, like, what's going on. Now, we're going to assume that you've all kind of gotten back together. You've told each other kind of a little bit about what's going on, but you're right in the middle of it, so nobody really knows truly what the other has done. Just that, hey, yeah, we're back, you're back. Oh my gosh, what the frig is happening? So we'll start, and we'll go over to Ishtar. What's Ishtar doing?
Yeah. As soon as, like, a giant skeleton bursts the wall and other skeletons are there, I'd probably start playing on my loot right away to get the courage bonuses.
That's right. You'll get plus 1d6 to initiative rolls, right?
No, that's if I give up my ambush roll. I'm talking about like the mental defense and the fear immunities. And
okay.
60-foot projection, so literally not just the party, like everyone in that vicinity.
Okay.
Or you know what? No, for this extra round, I'll give up the round to get the initiative one, and then when it starts, then I'll do the courage. So yeah, I'll do the initiative one first.
All right, and is that the pep talk exploit?
That's the pep talk exploit.
All
yeah.
right, so what is Ishtar saying amidst all this?
Well, he uses his lute, so he does like almost like a Flight of Valkyries type, tune.
Or maybe dun 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 dun.
It's a cross. It's a cross between the Imperial March and Flight of Valkyries.
Sweet.
But I don't get the bonus. But everyone else gets plus 1d6 to initiative.
All right, so
I
everybody.
would have felt better if it had been the sickness.
Oh, from Disturbed.
Yeah.
And then we'll go down to.
That's the music the Panthers get ready to come out to, and that gets me hyped up every time.
We'll go over to Korak. You see Ishtar. He's grabbing for his lute, and he is preparing to play a tune. What's Korak doing in this moment?
Well, what Korak would normally do. He's preparing to charge into battle. Yes.
Yeah.
So, as soon as, I guess there are, you said zombies and skeletons and stuff on the ground. And I take it the 2-story skeleton is still quite a ways away.
Yes, and he is much bigger than 2 stories. I'm going to retcon that. I want him to be bigger than that. He's just this epic freaking skeleton.
Yeah, okay. So he will do that and prepare to attack.
Okay. Dane.
Let's see. Charging at my fists. I'm going to go ahead and I'll take my feint exploit, because I'm sure the next turn I'll be using it anyway.
That has to happen on the same turn.
Okay, so I'll have to take that on my next go. Okay, I guess positioning-wise, how close are we, relatively, how close are we to those skeletons that we saw that were going after that were attacking the knights? How close are we to the giant skeleton, etc.?
At this moment, the closest thing to you is this cart that's come in, and it looks like it's about to topple over almost right in front of you. It's about 15 feet away as it's barreling through the town, trying to make this wide turn. And they're trying to turn, and the cart's that's about 15 feet away. And that is the closest thing to you. So the skeletons on that cart would be the closest monsters to you. The others are rushing in. They're all about 60 feet away.
Okay.
Still.
I'm going, since those skeletons that are attacking the knights are otherwise occupied, I'm going to take a strategic position that will essentially have me flanking those, or taking the position of advantage from behind, and waiting for either the cart to topple, or essentially my attack is going to be on them from behind so I can take advantage.
Okay, so you're darting right over to that cart.
Yes.
To prepare for battle with those 2 skeletons that are there.
Yes.
Let me get you all in here for initiative entries. Korak, Dane, and Tarask. Don't roll it yet.
If I'm understanding right, we get a plus 1d6 on our initiative at this point?
Yep.
When you roll it, yes.
Okay.
But we're going to go over to Tarask, and I want to know what he's doing in this moment.
So, are there any? Because I imagine the city, it's circular, right? It has these concentric circles. Are we in an area where there are buildings near us, or are we in a crossroad where there are no buildings near us?
There are more, rather than buildings around you right now, there are more kind of tarps set up, tents little shops of that nature to buy little things, because you guys are kind of more in the center of this, of the center of it of Nala.
Okay.
Now there are buildings not too far away from you, about 70 to 80 feet away.
Okay. Direction from the skeletons, so like through the skeletons, away from the skeletons, in all directions I could get to a building, like, you know.
All directions you could get to a building, and there's 4 roads. Well, there's more than 4 roads. I've not really designed the city or anything. I'm just trying to thinking of like there's roads, there's outlets to go to other districts, and there's 6 districts. I can't remember if I said 5 or 6 districts. I do have that written down, but there's districts, and each of those roads takes you to a different district.
Okay, so I'm going to run to the nearest building that does not require me to pass through a crowd of skeletons, essentially. I'm pulling my bow out, I'm pulling out an arrow, I'm knocking it before I even run. I'm turning to whoever's still near me, basically, not charging, hasn't run forward. I think that would be Ishtar. This is the only one that would be left, and I'd say, Ishtar, I'm going to get a better line of sight.
Yeah, I don't think. Yeah, I never said I moved, so I think Ishtar moved. I just pulled out and started getting the song going. Yeah.
Yeah, you're all still right there. So when you say that, everybody can hear you. I just want to get a gauge for what is happening, and then you guys will all do your thing. Then we'll roll initiative. Basically, you guys would have seen this coming. I'm going to give you an action before we actually get into initiative. So
Tarask is essentially just taking the bell tower.
Yeah, and when you look around, you can see that at your best guess, you see them kind of running at you from... they are running at you. I had it envisioned just straight up. They're coming from the north of the city. I guess it would kind of be the north east, because that's the entrance that you guys came in. I was having them. They are coming in the way that you guys came in, and you guys came in on the northeast entrance, and so they're flooding in through that way. So as you look at it, you can kind of calculate that your best choice would be to run to the right, to go find a building over there, because if you run to your south behind you, it's going to put you pretty far away from where you are assuming the action's going to be. Whereas if you run to the right, by time that you get there and they're coming here, you're going to be in good range for some combat. So, yeah, that'll work out pretty good for you. Or you could choose the left, which would put you closer to the cart.
Yeah, so I mean, he's going to want to be smart about this long term. Like, if there's about to be a whole bunch of stuff going on, he wants to put himself in wherever's going to give him the best shot for the entire breadth of the battle. So
that'd
maybe
right, because he would think that cart might get in the way of some shots.
Yeah, that's what I was
if
thinking.
it stays there. Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, he goes right.
Okay, so yes, Korak, or we'll start with Ishtar. Pulls out his lute, begins strumming some rockin' tunes. Korak snarls, pulls his spear out, gets ready for some action. Dane lights up his fist and takes a few steps forward to go towards the cart. And Tarask says a quick something to the group and begins to make his way to the right. Now we can roll some initiative. Okay, so we're all set to go. Here we go. First up is Korak.
Okay. So the closest thing to us is this tipping cart with or carriage with 2 skeletons on the back of it.
Yes.
Okay. And I'm close enough. I mean, my move is 8 in the city, so I guess I'm close enough to move up to it.
Yeah, and actually, since you didn't do anything other than grab your spear, which is still even a free action, I'm going to give you kind of 3 actions this turn. So basically, 1 free move action. One of them's got to be a move action, but you can take that move action for free, and then your other 2 actions you can take as normal. So if you want to dash up to that cart right now before using any of your actions, then you can go ahead and do that.
Okay, I will do that, and I'll try to sort of position myself where I'm in between, where I can hit either skeleton with the different ends of my.
So the cart's moving. So
Right.
as it comes around, you have a chance to hit the one that's on the outside closest to you.
Okay.
But
Then
as it moves, you're going to have to move with it in order to stay
Okay.
in range of them.
That's going to tip over right next to me anyways. Okay, so I will attack a moving skeleton. And 15, 18, 20, 24.
Actually, you more than doubled its melee defense. So I'm going to say there's no rule for this, but that's a critical hit.
Okay.
Because you more than you exactly doubled his melee defense. So all the damage dice you roll for this are going to explode.
Okay.
That's a house rule.
It just seems cool. I mean, he comes running, the skeleton's like, ah!
So that's 18. I had one dice explode. Okay, 19 points. 19, 20, 21, 22 points of damage.
Yeah. It just explodes. So Korak comes running from his position there, sees this cart coming towards him. He takes maybe 3 or 4 bounds as he pulls his spear out, and he comes up on the side of this skeleton who just barely catches him in time, and he tries to raise his guard, but it's like in slow-mo. Korak comes up with the one side of his spear and just shatters the skeleton. It absolutely blows up everywhere, bones flying everywhere. You have another action.
Okay. If I were to use acrobatics and sort of leap up and try to land on top of it, sort of, a lot of them have rails on the top, and try to land on the back of it and throw my weight so that the cart might not tip over. I'm going to do that.
Yeah, sure. What is your jump skill? The jump attribute for vertical.
Vertical is 7 feet.
Okay, you have no problem jumping up there, but I do want you to make a roll to see if you're able to stabilize yourself when you.
So acrobatics.
Physically, you can make the jump, but yeah, make an agility acrobatics check.
Okay. 22, 25, 26.
You land up there like a cat.
Okay. And I'm going to try to throw my weight on the side where the wheels are coming up so that it can hopefully drop back down.
Okay. Now, should that be another action, or should that all be contained within one action? I'm not sure.
I mean, you could say that I got up there and I'm shifting over to that side, and then so next round my weight will move over there.
I'll let you make a roll right now to see how much force you're able to exert in this moment that you landed.
Okay.
So like your jump was really good. You positioned yourself exactly where you wanted to be. So go ahead and make a strength. And if you have something related to, I don't know, pushing or carry or anything like that, you could add that.
Brawling. Reaction is more. Yeah, not really.
Okay, so straight up strength.
And that is a 12.
Okay. Yes, you feel the weight of the cart begin to come the way that you are pulling.
Okay.
You're not sure if it's enough yet, though.
All right.
Dane. Is muted.
Sorry about that. I was trying to pull. I was trying to look up something. All right. Use my obviously take faint. I'm guessing one of those guys got taken out for me.
Yes.
So there's one left.
Yes, you and Korak are essentially running side by side, and you see him going for the one on the closest. And as he's smashing it, you're kind of like skidding around on the other side and leaping. So you're gonna have to use just one move action to get in close with this thing.
Okay.
No, actually, because Korak didn't, so you don't.
Okay.
So you're there, and you are making this attack on the other one.
Okay. Now the skeleton that I'm attacking is facing off against a knight, correct?
Yeah, if you could call it that. He's not like a fully clad, armored kind of guy.
But he is engaged in combat with somebody, so I'm taking strategic positioning to essentially be flanking him. So what would that give me in terms of bonus to attack?
Hold on, I'm checking. I'm pretty sure it's going
That's
to be...
why I'm trying to look at myself, but...
I'm pretty sure it's going to be 1, but just hold on, and I'll tell you.
It's 1d6.
Thank you.
Page 139.
Okay.
I must have gone past it.
All right, and with my feint, that's going to give me 8d6 to attack with my unarmed strike.
Yep, that sounds about right.
I almost critted. I had 2 6s.
Then spoiler alert, you hit.
You
You don't even need to finish counting up. Oh yeah, if you got over 24.
18, 20, 22, 25, 30.
Oh,
Nice.
good lord, yes, that's a crit. You almost freaking tripled its armor class. It has a melee defense of 12.
Okay. So damage, I get the 3d6 plus the additional, with my agility, plus the additional 2d6 for Iron Fist and Elemental Fist, plus 3, which is the die bonus for my agility.
Wait. Hold on. Let's go over that again.
Okay.
1d6 for being a human.
Okay, so it's 1.
So, plus 2d6 altogether, 1 for Iron Fist and 1 for Elemental Fist.
That gives me 3 total.
And then strength bonus, not agility, is going to be...
That gives me 5d6.
No, not... it's not going to increase the dice pool. It's going to add as a static number to the end. So what's the size of your strength dice pool?
Oh, it's 2d6.
So plus 2. So you're going to be 3d6 plus 2.
Okay. So it is strength, it's not agility. Okay.
Yes, for melee attacks, yes. It's when you're adding to damage, it's going to be strength.
Yeah. The damage on my core staff is actually a little bit better. Just by 1d6, though. Oh, I also have 4 in martial arts.
4 points.
Yeah.
So 2d6. So it would be the same bonus to damage compared to your strength bonus. Yeah.
3d6 plus 2. And 6s will explode, correct?
On this one, yeah, because it's a massive critical hit.
Oh, that was correct. I did 7 points of damage.
Total?
Yeah. I rolled 2 1s.
Oh,
And a 2?
And a 3.
Oh, good lord. All right.
Yeah,
Well.
that sucked. But it is heat damage. It is heat.
Okay, so you said 7 damage?
Yep.
So he takes 4 of that. Okay. So you swoop around and you are able to charge up your fist and you come down and you catch him in the back and his bones rattle and he turns his head 180 degrees and looks at you and hisses. You have another action.
Okay. I'll take another strike then. So.
Russell, may I make a suggestion?
Yeah.
You can trade 2 of your 2 hit because you're going to be doing 7d6 with the flanking.
Right. 8d6 actually.
No, faint was used up.
Okay. So
you can
7.
only use it. Yeah. So you have 7d6. Trade 2 of them and get an extra dice of damage.
All right. 5d6 to attack.
Just faint. That's fine. This thing's dead.
6, 12, 17 that time.
Yep, so it's a normal strike this time, but it is a hit.
46 plus 2.
Yep.
That's better. 7, 10, 12, 14.
Okay, so as he's hissing at you, you just Rock'em Sock'em Robot his head off. And his body crumbles down. In fact, it's interesting because these skeletons, you notice when you pop his head off, the way they're kind of held together isn't naturally through their bone structure. Normally when we think of fantasy skeletons, we think of them as their little bones are connected, and we've never really wondered, like, well, how the hell are they connected? And they don't have tendons, magic. But when you pop its head off, you actually see a little bit of resistance as its head seems magically tethered to its spinal column, to its neck, and it's like, and then it goes off.
I about to say, sense magic. Would I sense magic on this creature?
Yeah, I guess you would. These are naturally, I guess unnaturally, magical monsters. Yes. So yeah, I guess you would.
All right.
Next up is the big boy in the background, who is currently just. So he continues to wreak havoc. He's kind of far off in the background, and you see as he's bashing walls down and all that kind of sort of stuff, there is a group of knights and archers that could start flooding out towards your guys' position to come help combat these undead and everything. And you see these two very royally garbed magicians come running out with large staves, and one of them has a long gray beard, very furrowed, he's got a scar across his eye, a black hood, black robe with gold inlays on the shoulders, and the other one's adorned the same. He looks a little bit younger, but not by much. He's got a 5 o'clock shadow and it's gray. And they both come running out, and they stop kind of next to Ish. One of them's kind of like maybe 15 feet to the left of Ishtar, where this hole, and maybe about 10 feet from where it looks like this cart is about to tip over everything. And he stops in the stand, and then the other guy's about 30 feet away, and almost crossing paths with Tarask. And they both stop and they look at each other, and then they hold their staves up above their heads, and then they slam them down into the ground, and you see this pulse of magic come from both of them, and the ground from underneath them kind of crumbles up, and it goes, and then off in the distance you see these two creatures come bursting up out of the ground. One of them is a gigantic ice golem that is maybe half the size of this skeleton, and the other one is a large stone golem. And they both just begin hammering away at this skeleton. And you see the two mages next to you are very concentrated in their effort to keep their golems, rock'em sock'em with this big skeleton over in the distance. With that, we have Tarask.
So I'm running towards the building. I have a movement speed of 8. Where do I get?
Give me one move action to get to the building, even up to however high up you want to be, because you already declared you're going to do that. So just one action to get there, and you'll have another action to take a shot on a target.
Cool. Yeah. Okay. So wait, 2 actions to get up to the top, and then 1 action left?
Yeah, essentially.
Okay.
Yeah, because you were moving a little bit further than the other guys.
Yeah. No, totally. That's fine. I just know we had a total of 3 actions. So yeah, so I kind of get there. I kind of like hop out of the way a little bit as the mages are doing their thing, and I just kind of keep bolting and hit the door, running, burst through the door, up the stairs, holding my bow. It doesn't matter. I wouldn't even bother trying to get to the roof. I would get to whatever the top floor is, and I basically run to what I would realize to be the side of the house that would look out on the courtyard. And I would just, immediately run up to it and smash out a window if there was one there. And when I look out the window, what do I see?
Okay, so you kind of see a larger overview. You see what are quite a few of these skeletons and zombies pouring into the city. At your best guess would be probably about 30 to 40 total pouring in. And then you see the line of militiamen and archers. You see arrows begin to fly into the group of them, and you see militiamen drawing their swords as they run into combat. Some of the closest targets that you see, and actually a lot of them are zombies, as they kind of lumber. I say lumber, but they're actually quite fast. They still look rather human. They're not fully like decayed and dead and everything like that. They still look like maybe just a 2-week-old corpse, maybe. And they're running and they're slathering and all that kind of stuff. So you can see quite a few zombies.
And I'm paying special close attention to my companions, and I just want to like definitely see if there's any moving in that direction.
You see about 3 zombies and 4 skeletons making their way towards that direction.
Okay. Perfect. So I imagine they're all kind of bunched. Like they're within 10 feet of each other, probably. Like not all of them, but each one is within
10 to 15 feet within each other, yeah.
So I would take my bow and I would just flip it on the side, and you see the one arrow turn into 2, really, as I split it with my knuckle. And I pull it back and shooting at 2 zombies that are moving towards my companions that I can tell from this distance are less than 10 feet apart, roughly. I'd let loose. And this is my new exploit. This is double shot. So just has to be directed at 2 different targets within 10 feet of each other. And that's it. Otherwise, it's 1 attack dice, and it either hits both or it doesn't.
Add 1d6 for having higher ground.
Awesome. Okay, so that's a total of 7d6 on my attack.
They're also caught in crossfire from the archers that are fighting it. So you're going to get a plus 2d6 for both of those situations going on there.
Awesome. So total of 8d6 being rolled here. All right. So that's going to be that's a lot of dice. 10, 15, 23.
Oh. You almost doubled their range defense, but not quite. Go ahead and roll damage on both of those guys. So you hit 1 skeleton and 1 zombie.
Excellent. Okay, so that's... I always screw this up. So that's going to be, it's my the bow itself, which is 2d6 plus 2. Oh, no, I'm sorry. That's what it is. The 2, I'm already adding that in. That's getting... What stat does that get?
The bow damage, 2d6 plus whatever the bow is, I think is 4, but I don't know.
I'm just curious because I think I might have written the stat down 2d6 plus 2 when I had...
2d6 plus 2 is the longbow.
Oh, it just is that. Okay.
Yeah, and then you add any skill you have in bows, the size of the dice pool you have in bows.
Oh, as an extra, not rolling the dice, but
right.
Just adding it. Okay. So the high quality bow itself is 2d6 plus 2, and I'll be adding an extra 2 to that for my bow.
Well, actually, the high, I didn't realize it was high quality. That might make a difference in the damage.
So if you have the bow skill, the number of the bows gets added to damage?
The number of the dice pool gets added to damage.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, the high quality is 3d6. So it's going to be a total of 3d6 plus 4.
Perfect. Thank you.
And this is going to be, I think this just goes to both of them. So it's going to be a total of 11 damage to each.
Ooh, all right. So the skeleton takes 8. And the zombie, how much did you say, 11?
11, yep.
Takes 6. All right, so you got... And, your one arrow with the skeleton, it's kind of funny. It kind of catches a rib and then bonks up, and it sticks in between its jaw and its nose cavities there. And then the zombie, you just land one thud right in its shoulder, and it's kind of, you see it protruding out of its chest, and it seems no worse for the wear as it continues to lumber on. As this is all going on, Ishtar, your turn. The knights and or the militiamen and the archers begin to engage in combat with all of these guys, and the cart is still moving in slow motion in front of you. What do you do?
Okay, so all the militia and like the mages, they're close to me.
Yeah, one of the mages is almost right next to you.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna use both my actions to do the courage song to get both effects going.
Okay.
And with my exploit, I got 60 feet of that. So, but Tarask is up on the tower, so I don't know if he'll get it now. But
60 feet? No, he wouldn't.
No.
That wouldn't quite. Just barely. Actually, you know what? Since you took that exploit of projection, yes, it'll reach him this. It'll reach him this time. I'm not gonna fuss over 10 feet.
All right. So then the whole party gets it plus whatever townsfolk are joining us in the fight. So
Okay, cool.
It's +4 mental defense and immunity to fear.
Sweet. So keep that in mind, people.
And then that's both my actions. So
yeah, it is because you did spend your first one doing the initiative song.
Yeah.
Okay. With that, finally, I can play some skeletons. And the one that gets struck with the arrow is running up on Dane. He's going to have to use one of his move actions to get to him, but he does, and he winds up flanking you in the process as well.
Okay, my defense is an 18. My melee defense is an 18.
He rolls a 23. And his damage on you is an 8.
Okay.
Then that's the one that's got the arrow kind of stuck up in its jaw. Another skeleton rolls up on Dane, flanking you as well. He gets a 26. How am I not critting on these rolls? That's wicked. And he'll hit you for 9.
Okay.
And then 2 skeletons also just throw themselves onto Korak, and they both will be flanking you as well. So the first one strikes out for 21 with a 21 attack roll. The second one gets an 18 attack roll. You're muted.
21 will hit. So they jumped up onto the carriage as well?
That's right. You're up on the carriage. So, yeah,
That's
they'll
fine,
have to. Let me check their jump stat really quick and see if they'd be able to jump up that high without a check. I don't know if jump 8-4. So that's 8 long, 4 high. No, they're going to need a check to jump up. So hold on, let me roll that check for them really quick to see if they get up. Let's see, the difficulty is 2d6. Okay, the one goes to jump and he just trips and falls. He rolled a 5. And so he jumps and he just kind of grabs on it and kind of goes tumbling onto the ground, and he doesn't quite make it. The other one, he got what he needed, and he gets up there and he leaps up and he tries to bring his and I'll re-roll his attack roll and we'll see what he gets for that. He gets a 12.
Okay. That
So
misses.
yeah, he jumps up. The other one doesn't quite make it. This one does, and he comes to hit you, but he does jump up on the side that you did not want weighed down. So there are a total of 6 zombies right now. Tarask, you see 3 of them running closer to you, fighting some of the militiamen down in the courtyard there. And then you see there's 3 more that are making their way one towards the mage, one towards Ishtar, and then another one towards Dane. These ones won't be flanking you anymore. They do slather out to bite you, though. Does their bite have any special effects?
Yes, it turns them into zombies.
Actually, if you get a critical hit from a zombie's bite, you contract zombie fever.
Told you.
Yeah.
Cool.
So, Dane, a bite coming at you. He rolled a 15.
No.
No. Did I say No. One of them was coming at you. One of them's coming at Ishtar. Here he comes. He's gonna bite Ishtar with a 7.
7 does not hit.
And the other one goes to bite the mage, and he actually hits. He rolls a 16 on the mage, and that's not good. But he did only roll a 4 damage, so... Okay, so you see this mage, and it... Actually, I gotta roll for his concentration. Yeah, he maintains his concentration, no problem. But you see this zombie start to chew into him, and he seems slightly perturbed by that. The other 3 are in combat, and then we're back up to Korak. Korak, you've got this skeleton right there in front of you. The cart is beginning to tip, to fall over.
Okay. So, I mean, I'm gonna... Okay. Well, I'm gonna attack him. And hopefully knock him off so I can maintain my balance and not tip the thing over. I've been trying to get double 6s and I can't even do that. So that's 10, 14, 15, 17.
That's a hit.
So I am going to use a luck die in damage.
Okay.
And it did not explode. But that is 9, 15, 17 points of, 20 points of damage.
Yeah. That one you kick on the chest, and it starts to fall apart in midair as it's falling off the cart, and it hits the ground and shatters completely. That's your first action. You have another action.
Okay. I am... So does it look like the cart is lost, that it's going to go over?
Why don't you make it'd be just an intuition perception check to see if you think this guy's going over no matter what you do.
10. So I'm probably thinking it's going to. No matter what.
Well, with a 10, that I'm gonna consider that a success. You're able to successfully gauge the situation, and you think with a heave strong enough, you could indeed stop this from tipping over, and that you're physically capable of doing it. It's going to require a good hefty heave, though, and maybe a little bit of luck.
Okay. Well, I forgot I did. I had my exhibitionist skill kick in because I destroyed that skeleton, so I get my luck die back. So
nice.
Sure, I will do. So that will be a strength test with a luck die. Here. And that's much better. I didn't hit a 6 on that, but that's 12, 16, 18.
So you kick the skeleton off, it goes flying off on the ground, and then you actually hop off the side of the cart and just force all of your weight, and you dig your heels into the ground. Korak's a pretty tall dude. You pull it, and you manage to stop it, and it's about to rock back on its side when it is Dane's turn. Dane, you've got 2 skeletons and a zombie up your ass right now.
Okay. Do I have anybody in position where I can take strategic flank?
You could use a move action to get behind one of them.
Okay, then I shall do that.
Okay.
And then I will spend 2 of my dice to add an extra die of damage. I'm actually going to go after the
There's a fresh one, and there's one that looks like it's got an arrow lodged in its face. It's struggling with this arrow.
Take my first attack and go after the one that's already damaged.
Okay. And now this is going to be your only attack because you spent 1 action to get behind it.
To move, okay. Yes, critical. 3 6s.
All right, this one will explode.
Okay. And damage-wise, I already know that I pretty much hit him pretty solid. So, all right, 46 plus.
I thought it was 3. I thought it was 3d6.
No, I took 2.
Oh, that's right. You
I exchanged.
took out 2 to get an extra 1. Gotcha.
16 points of damage.
Yeah. When you uppercut this thing, like, your fist is flaming, basically, and it just incinerates. It blows up and incinerates in front of you. And since I've been kind of playing fast and loose with the critical kind of thing, take an extra luck die, because that's normally what happens if you critical on like a regular skill check.
Nice.
Yeah, I'd grant you an extra luck die. In this case, I've been letting people crit if they double, just because these things are kind of paltry and weak. I debated on making them just 1 hit point monsters. I wanted it to be a little bit more than that. So yeah, give yourself a luck die,
Nice.
because that was awesome. And I said so. So then, Dane, yes, you shift behind. All right, let's go over to the skeleton playing a rock'em sock'em robot with these 2 large golems in front of him. You see him getting bashed around pretty good. However, he's making his way closer to you guys, and at this point, he is about 50 feet away. And you see that when he walks and he has these skeletons like jumping off of him and all of this stuff, that whatever he walks through, he just kind of walks through. And he squashes some people. He squashes some zombies and skeletons. He doesn't care. He's just... and he will grab a large piece of building and just huff it towards the mage that's right next to Ishtar. And I have to make an attack roll for him. So, Ishtar, you have a very large piece of building coming towards you. And I'm going to feel really bad if I kill you while you have the flu. Alright, here comes his attack. It's a 17. It's actually not.
That hits.
Okay. Yeah, the damage is what I'm afraid of. Actually, that's not too bad. Okay.
Still count?
It does. It does count. Wait. Yeah, okay. It's just 3. Okay. 7.
Okay, it didn't kill me.
Okay, that wasn't too bad. That wasn't too bad. Until an entire building comes down on your head. No. It does hit the mage next to him, and that mage needs to make another concentration check.
Mage is a zombie on his arm, too.
He does. However, he succeeds with flying colors on that. So then, Tarask, you're up.
So there should be a zombie still over by Ishtar, I believe?
Yes, there is. It's basically latched on to this mage.
Okay. Yeah, so I'm going to fire. So basically, after just firing that split shot, Tarask reaches back and sticks 4 arrows into the windowsill in front of him, grabs one, puts it in his string, pulls back, and fires at... Oh, I'm going to actually... I'm going to remove 2 dice from my attack.
Well, before you do that, let me make you aware that when you are firing into melee, that you don't want to hit the person who's fighting.
Oh,
you get a negative 2d6 modifier to that.
Oh,
for
I
the
see.
extra care it takes to... But you get a plus 1d6 for being high up, so a grand total of minus 1d6 for your situation, trying to shoot the zombie biting the mage.
Okay, then never mind. I won't be removing 2. Okay.
There's also an exploit called Draw the Bead, which Ishtar has. It takes away, because the penalty is 2d6, this lowers the penalty to 1d6.
For everybody around or just him?
No, just for shooting into melee, it's an exploit to like offset the
For
penalty.
just him.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's cool. All right, so I'll be using 5d6 on this one then, I think.
Okay.
I'm not getting any bonus from this one for him being in combat, right?
No, you're getting the
-1 rather than +1. Okay, here we go.
And the exploit he's talking about is actually a universal exploit, so you could take it in a future.
I might have to. It sounds useful. Yeah, so that's 10, 18, so that's 19 to hit.
Yep, that's a hit.
And that's going to count for both. Because right after I fire the first one, before it even lands, I pull another one from the sill, and I fire that off. And that's going to be nice. A total of 16 each.
Ooh.
So 16 on the first one, and then 16 on the next one.
Oh man, they tear right through him. So this mage is like, he's like, oh, and then one of them comes underneath his arm, and it just makes this like rock-sized hole in the zombie's chest. It hits with such impact, and then the other one just comes and blows a hole in his head. And it just, and then the teeth kind of slowly peel off the mage's arm and leaves like one tooth there as it falls to the ground.
And Taras is going to reach, grab the next 2 arrows, pull them both in at the same time again, split them with his knuckle, and turn down. There's still the mage down like below me that I ran past, I believed, and he was being attacked as well.
Well, not yet. There's 3 zombies making their way right towards him.
Oh, okay. So then forget straight down. At those 3 that are coming towards him, I'm going to lift, and I'm going to shoot it at those 3. I'm doing what I did the first time, and I'm trying to get
2 of them.
I'm trying to get 2 of them.
Yeah, now in this case, you're not firing into melee, so awesome.
7.
And you're up high, so you get plus 1d6, so yeah, 7.
So 7d6 coming your way. This will count for both, and that's going to be crit. Nice.
Yeah, all right.
So that's 6, 12, 18. Plus 18 plus 10, 28, 33.
Good freaking Lord. I don't know what more to give you other than add, I'm not going to give you a luck die, but add a luck die to this damage roll, and all of the dice explode.
Oh, and all the dice explode. Nice. Yeah. Okay, so that's 3d6 for my regular, plus I will keep track of the 4th, which will be a luck dice. Oh wait, everything explodes, so it doesn't matter. Yeah. Okay, so I got 1 exploded, so that's 10, 14, 16, plus another 6.
Nice.
So that's 22. That doesn't explode, right?
No, it does.
Oh, it does. Okay. 22 plus 2 more, 24 total. So that's 24 to each of them.
They have 5 soak and 15 hit points.
Yeah.
So yeah, you just drop these 2 arrows, and they like almost shears them in half. They just come down with such force. You're feeling very angsty today.
Yes, I'm feeling it.
You just took out 3 zombies in one turn. Congratulations.
That is it.
Caleb, I got a update on the draw a bead. You do not pay any penalty. Now the errata changed it. So
just the whole penalty?
Nice.
As long as they are at least 10 feet away, you do not pay any penalty when firing into melee.
Cool.
Speaking of Ishtar, your turn. This zombie has just been shot down in front of you. There are 3 more zombies left. One of them is far away from you at the other mage. There is, let's see, he shot that one. There's one bothering Dane right now. And there's another one.
It's on Ishtar.
That's on you right now. That's right. Thank you. Trying to bite at you.
Oh, that's right. So, so I will, I guess, step away a little bit, get my bow out, and take a shot at him.
Okay.
Well, that's a really crappy roll. 3, 4, 5. A whopping 10. Yeah, I rolled horrendously. Not a 111, but
I wish you hit, but you didn't. So everybody else has done such epic
I rolled a 1
stuff.
I rolled 2 1s, a 3, and a 2.
Yeah, that's pretty bad. But you have another action. Ishtar's really rethinking his life choices at the moment.
Yeah, he's not built for combat. I'll take another shot, I guess.
Okay.
I'll try it, yeah. Okay, that's a lot better. 12, 22, 23, 24.
Oh, actually, that doubles their range defense, so that I'm going to say crits.
All right.
So roll that damage and let it explode. Let the bodies hit the floor.
Okay, well, it didn't not explode in dice, so... Does it explode regardless, or it has to be a 6?
That's got to be a 6, yeah.
Okay, so no, then just 9 damage.
Okay. Now, that one hadn't been damaged previously yet, correct? No, it was just trying to eat you. How much did you say? 9?
9.
Minus 5 is 4.
That's almost max damage for me.
All right, well, you managed to sink one in his shoulder, and it kind of starts to come out the other side. And he doesn't like that, but he doesn't seem all too perturbed. He still just focuses on eating your soul. Next up are the skeletons, of which there are 2 left. One of them is running to catch back up to the cart. The other one is on Dane. So let's go to Dane first. You are in combat with this guy. He's not going to get any extra dice rolls, so just straight attack is a 20.
He hits.
Okay, for 6 damage.
All right.
And the second one is going to make another attempt to jump up on the cart and get to Korak. This time he makes it. So he jumps up, finds his footing, seems pleased with himself, and then takes... Oh, wait! Before that happens, my other skeleton gets another attack action on Dane, because I forgot 2 actions. So yes, first one hits with Dane, second one's a 21, so that hits you for 7 damage.
Okay.
Okay. Korak, this one lands on top in front of you, seems pleased with itself, and will attempt to... Oh no, you're not on the cart anymore. You're kind of off on the side.
Right.
Okay, I forgot about that. So yeah, he didn't need to roll to jump up or anything. He's running off to the side to come and try to stab you in the side. And he'll roll an 11.
No.
All right.
Why didn't you roll those against me?
I'm sorry. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do.
I feel like Korak just flexes and breaks his hand.
Then next up, the zombie that is on Dane will bite him. Maybe. He gets a 20.
He didn't crit. Thank goodness.
No, he didn't, and he bites you for 5.
Okay. I said
Then-
5, so...
Okay, yeah, he kind of bites into your garb and just leaves some tooth marks in there. He's like, and he will bite down on you again for 15 this time.
Oh, he hit for 15?
No. That's his attack roll.
Oh, he missed.
Okay, so you push his face off. No problem. The other one was over next to Korak, and he actually... Let me roll something really quick here. I'm going to roll a d20. If it's 11 or higher, the guard is winning. If it's 1 to 10, the zombie's winning. It's a 6. So the zombie, you see him bite into the guard. And, you hear blood-curdled screams down from below Tarask. And then we're back up to Korak. You've got this pretty pathetic looking skeleton trying to stab you.
Okay, so the carriage is stable now. It's sitting there. Okay, I will take this guy's head off.
He says confidently.
10, 15, 17 to hit.
That's a hit.
And
Now this one's fresh.
right, okay.
Let's see if you can kill him in one hit. Got to get 15 damage or more.
Ooh, that's not going to do it. 7, 13.
13. Ooh. So it's 10 damage. Okay. That's your first attack.
Yeah, okay. Come back here. Okay, 10, 14, 17 to hit.
It's a hit. Yep.
And and that is 11, 12, 13, 16 points of damage.
Cool. So your first strike is you just sink your spear through his skeletal foot, and then he kind of looks down and then looks up at you, and you just take the other part of your spear and you just punch him in the face with it, and his head flies off and he crumbles to bits.
Yeah. Actually, if he would have still been up, I would have gotten to use the other end of my spear because of the double weapon. Because I get 3 attacks now.
Yes, you do, and you have a third attack if he's. Actually, the other skeleton, is not close by. I don't think.
And I'm taking my luck die back for defeating him for my exhibitionist.
Nice.
All right, yeah, Korak's just rolling in bones. Next up is Dane.
All right. So position-wise, am I next to the zombie? Am I glad, or the skeleton, or am I glad to take a move action to do either of those?
You are next to a skeleton, right? There's a skeleton there.
Well, I took one skeleton out already.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I was trying to figure out just based on.
Yeah, there were 2 on you. There were 2 on you and 1 zombie.
Right.
The zombie is still there trying to bite at you,
Okay,
and
I'm
the
probably
skeleton
closest-
is still there trying to slice your face off.
If I'm thinking my positioning, I'm probably closest to the zombie. So that's what I'm going to attack. So if I. That's not all I do. I'm going to go ahead again. I'm going to use 2. I'm going to give up 2 of my dice. So I'm going 5d6 on this attack. I'm taking 2 attacks on them. So 5 for this first one. 14.
Yep. That's
That
it.
hits him?
Go ahead and roll the damage for that one before you roll your next attack, because there's a possibility you could kill him with this first attack.
Okay, so 46 plus
He's
2.
already taken a little bit of damage.
15, 17 points.
17 minus 3 is 14, and he dies.
Okay, so
You stick your fist inside of his chest, and you just light it up, and he incinerates and blows away.
what would be? I'm guessing I'm probably pretty far from the. I'd have to move up on the skeleton to get to him. Wouldn't I?
I lost track of him. I can't remember where he's at, actually. No, he was on you. He's right next to you.
Okay, then I guess
Yeah,
my
'cause-
next attack's going on him. So 66.
This is where having a battle map and minis helps, but
Yes.
all I have in front of me is an initiative list, but...
Well, I rolled 18. I didn't roll 3 6s. So 18, 23 to hit.
Okay, that's a hit.
Okay, and then 3 to 6 plus 2. Should have used a luck die. 7 points.
Alright, 3 soak is 4 damage. 8. Okay. Fantastic. So you first strike, boom, and you blow this zombie up, and he just incinerates from the fire with your hand, and then you spin back around with the same hand, and you smash the skeleton with a back fist in its neck, and it stumbles a little bit. but then it catches its feet and stands back up. All right, the big boy skeleton in the background, he has made his way about 40 feet away from all of you, and it is at this point that the caravan has come to a stop, and the man inside steps out, and when you get a good look at him, he pulls his hood down, and you see shoulder-length black hair, a goatee that kind of comes down to about the top of his chest. To say he's portly would be misleading, because he's not. He's stocky in a sense, and not muscular, but he's not fat. He's just built slightly larger, and
built like a linebacker.
Yeah, but not in a buff kind of way. He's a bit older, and you can see he's got gray, very properly, formed goatee. Like, he's got gray stripes in his goatee and everything. And he comes out and he pulls out a large staff and he puts it down on the ground. And he looks over at you, Korak, and then he looks up at the large skeleton, and he says, "Got any ideas about that?"
I'm just going to go up and take it out at the ankle.
He says, well, let's see how it handles this. And he'll take the top of his staff, which is adorned with a purple sphere, not very large, about this big, and he'll touch it to his hand, and he'll pull it away, and when he does, you see this stream of magic kind of coalesce into his hand, and then he kind of he gets his stance ready, and he goes like that with his hand, and it turns about the size of one of those really big balls that you see people running into each other on YouTube. You know what I mean? It turns about that big, and he winds up and he just hurls it at this gigantic skeleton in the background. And then he looks back over at you, Tarask, and he says, "I hope it hits." And then the camera kind of zooms in on this orb, and you see crackles of energy around it, and it comes and it smashes this skeleton right in the face. And you see magic kind of pouring off of it as it gets hit with this large ball of energy. And it shrieks this howl to everybody. Now, you guys are immune to fear, which is good, because otherwise you would have had to make some pretty difficult rolls. So it just howls out. And you see a lot of the guardsmen and the archers just run away like bloodshot eyes, and they've got their hands on their ears, and they're screaming. And the mages seem undeterred by this, but in this moment that the skeleton gets hit by this ball of energy, the two golems that have been combating with it take the opportunity, and one of them grabs it and holds it up, and the other one just starts just smashing its fist into its rib cage. And it seems to be taking quite a bit of punishment. Then we move over to Tarask.
Okay, so before I say, let me just ask, if I were to attack this thing right now, would it be with 8d6 because I'm up high and it's being attacked by golems?
Yes.
Or would it be -2 because I don't really care if I hit the golems, to be honest?
Yeah,
okay.
No. 8d6.
Cool. Okay, so I'm actually going to kind of pull only one arrow out, and I'm going to kind of slide it out kind of slowly and across my hand and just really take my shot carefully. I'm using aim, but instead of adding those two and making it 10d6, I'm going to take those and leave them for damage.
Can I make one more suggestion?
Sure.
Because Tarask would totally notice this. This thing is freaking huge, and it's not that far away. He's going to have almost no problem hitting this thing. So if you were considering throwing more than those two dice in there for damage, it might be something that you'd want to do.
Yeah, I had no clue what its AC was, but yeah, if it's that close and I feel like there's no way I'd miss it, then I would actually remove another 2 and attack with 6 d6.
Yeah, you're with that skill with bows and that close, you're going to have a tough time not hitting it.
So I am looking at this thing dead in its eye, and that's where I'm looking to put this arrow. Okay, so that's going to be 5, 10, 15, 22.
That's a hit.
Okay,
Wow,
so now...
didn't roll 3 6s?
No, I didn't. It was mostly 5s. I had 3 5s and 2 and 3, I think. Okay, so my usual damage is 3d6, and I'm going to add an extra 2 for the first 2, and then 2 more for the second 2, right?
Well, it's a 2 to 1.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, so I'm adding 2 more. Gotcha.
You can't apply luck dice to damage, can you?
Luck dice to damage? Yeah. Hell
Oh.
yeah, you can add luck dice to damage.
Which I'm going to do.
Oh, I'm totally doing that.
I know I meant to do it before because I heard Korek do it, but I think it was correct, so I wanted to do it too. So let me put that one on the side, make sure I know which one it is. All right, so the regular damage is finally get 3 6s. Too bad it's on damage. 6, 12, 18, 21, plus my luck dice, which is a 6, so 27.
Yeah. Oh, man, this is bad.
29.
29, and he already take a beating from those other things.
That was your suggestion.
You know what? How does this arrow kill this thing? I'm interested. I'm actually interested in how you managed to kill this thing with a shot. I mean, it's already badly wounded and everything, but how do you finish off a massive skeleton with a single arrow shot? Tell me.
So I kind of see it like Star Wars
You did say you shot at the eye.
shooting a womp rat, basically. I'm pulling back the arrow real slow and deliberate, and he's doing all these things. He's getting smashed by the golems, and he's swinging his arms back. And, like, I kind of notice at the last second he lifts his head up and kind of sees the glint on my arrowhead just as I release it. And you see the arrow, which is like a toothpick compared to this thing, right, which is huge, kind of goes in, like, just like in Star Wars when he takes out the Death Star at Yavin, slips right in the corner of the eye. Mm-hmm. And you see this thing just like roaring at me as it notices it, and then boom, right down the exhaust pipe. Boom. And his head just kind of shoots back and lulls a bit. And then I don't know what happens. Does he fall? Does he take my building out?
So yeah, essentially it goes down what would be its trachea or its throat pipe. Yeah. No, actually it goes down and its head lolls back, and what you notice is this core in its chest just explode and come out through its mouth, and it fills its eyes with this it's this bluish gray, deep blue, deep gray, and it comes out with beams and everything. When it does this, it washes over this energy, and it seems as though that the rest of these undead were connected to this thing. That whatever this thing is, it brought its posse, and its energy was sustaining all of the other undead around it. Because when its energy core explodes, the rest of them, just like in Star Wars, where the droids, they take out the space station and the droids all shut down. You took out the skeleton space station and all of the skeleton droids shut down. And they all just kind of, that magical essence that was holding them together, when you pop their head off, everything, it dissipates, and there's nothing to hold them there together anymore. And
mumbles, he goes, "Oh, I've heard of 2 birds, 1 stone before, but this is ridiculous."
Oh!
So Ishtar actually was winding up for another shot and then released his bow as soon as that thing died and the thing collapsed.
Yeah, no, and actually when you release your shot, you accidentally release your front hand instead, and your bow goes back and hits your hand. You're like, oh, son of a bitch.
No one saw that.
No, yeah. Either that, or you actually release the arrow and you see it going, and then you think, oh my gosh, I did it. I did it. Yeah. So you can pick which one of those happens. But
actually, no. Knowing Ishtar,
He'll
he
take credit.
releases the arrow, and there, in reality, the arrow probably just goes through it as it's falling apart. But just yes, got it.
exactly. Yeah. That's totally the name of this episode, by the way, is Two Birds, One Stone. So the skeleton, yes, everything calms down, and the mages retract their magic, and the golems dissipate into they just kind of fall apart, leaving behind their bodies. And Tarask, as you make your way out of the building, people are beginning to come out. People are gathering around you guys, people picking up their wounded, pulling them back in to be healed. The man that came out of the cart who threw that massive energy ball will wait until you are all assembled together, and he'll kind of stand you all in front of him. And Korak, you would know that it is customary that as a lord of the land, who you've now recognized this to be, given the garb that he's wearing and the emblem on the side of the cart, it's customary to give kind of a curtsy, I guess, but it's more like the way giraffes do it. Like they kind of bend one knee, and they don't go like full down, like full bow, but they do give a sign of respect or whatever. So you would know that that's customary to do in front of a lord.
Okay, so I will let Teresk know. I'm assuming, well, Teresk and Dane, because I don't know how much Dane got as far as how to be around lords and that. Let them know that this is customary, and I will demonstrate. Does Teresk follow along?
I'm thinking. Does he?
You just saw this guy throw a huge wealth of magic at it.
Yeah, no, that's true. Okay, so yeah, he's impressed by his power, so he's sort of like, but he mimics you like he's an elf, so he doesn't do really much clumsily, but it just still seems wrong and out of place, but almost like an improvement on the bow.
Ishtar probably doesn't know what to do, but then he looks over and sees fellow party members do it, so he...
Well, with your local...
He actually probably knows how to do a bow.
Yeah, but with your local knowledge, would you know which lord this is?
I do have local knowledge.
Yeah, you could roll. That's certainly applicable in this point. You could roll to see if you knew who this is. It's a logic test. Local knowledge. And for the record, you have local knowledge of Nala, and actually you all have one rank of local knowledge in Oddwald. But I'll message that to you in the chat later on.
13.
You know where he's from. You don't know his name. He is from Haywood, the sorceress city, as it's known.
Ah, okay.
And you know this from the emblem of the stone hand grasping a purple orb.
Okay, so then yes, Ishtar will do a not perfect, but probably not the worst bow people see. Does like a bow.
Yeah, you mimic it fairly well. What's Dane do?
He said be right back, so he's probably checking on a cake.
Okay, now I'm going to assume that what he would do is his customary thing, which would be perfectly acceptable by this lord. And yes, he stops in front of all of you, and he looks at you, and when you look at him, you can see the wear of time on his face. You can see creases, some freckles of age, a scar that goes across his cheek and down to about here on his neck. And clearly this man has seen battles, he's seen hardship, and he says to you, he kind of returns your bows with an acknowledgement, and He'll nod, and he'll say, "You all, thank you so much for helping us save this city. What are your names?" And he'll ask Ishtar first.
Ishtar says, "I am Ishtar the Brave."
And then he'll look over to Korak, and he stops for a second, and he says, "I think I know you. There aren't too many orcs in this land. Are you perhaps Korak?"
I am, my lord.
He says, "Yes, I've heard tales of your feats in the arena. Perhaps we'll get to see your... Although I have seen your prowess here today, and indeed the rumors are true. Surely you are an orc worthy of the title, the Spear Bearer." And then he looks over at Dane, who is hopefully back.
I am.
Cool. Dane, you gave your customary bow to him, which he accepted, and he's asking names, and he looks to you.
I am Dane. I'll leave it at that.
He says, "Well met, Dane." Then he looks over to Tarask, and he pauses for a moment, and he looks at you, and he's like, "And what is your name?"
Tarask.
What?
Just Tarask.
"Well, just Tarask." And he'll look at all of you again, and he'll say, "I am here for a meeting of the lords and ladies. I will most certainly want to bring you into the council room with me, into the cloakroom, so that I can show you all, or I could show the other lords and ladies who the saviors of the day were today. Of course, among the other guardsmen and archers who have loyally served their king here today. Perhaps when we meet, you could come to the palace, or come to the castle, and make yourselves available."
Ooh.
Okay.
Tarask is going to look over at Dane and kind of just be like, did we have something perhaps more pressing? Dane?
He senses you can sense this man, and Dane, you're getting the sense of powerful magic from this dude, and indeed what you saw him just do, that makes sense. And he senses your hesitation, and he says, "You have time to get your affairs in order. We're not meeting for another 2 days, so take care of the things that you need to take care of today and tomorrow, and the following day meet us at the castle. I would love the other lords and ladies to meet you, and who knows, perhaps they will have some requests of you, or some rewards for you for your service here today." And he bows and expects a bow from you all again.
I give my customary bow.
Critical bow.
Ishtar literally does like a...
Uh-huh.
Yes, Tarask bows.
And he smirks in delight, and he will climb back in his coach, and the 2 knights that were with him will climb in beside him, close the curtains, and the coachman will hi-yah off as he makes his way off to the castle. And you guys are left in the center of the city yet again, this time with corpses all around you. That would be undead corpses, so bones and zombie bodies, and a wreck of a city from the northwest area.
Korak, is it... Oops, sorry. Korak, is it customary to be stuck doing trivial tasks as a result of saving human cities?
Well, the trivial task may come with a reward, and usually does.
I care not for rewards. I will have to let the city burn next time. It's not worth the trouble.
Well, If you don't want your reward, I may collect it for you. How's that?
What are you looking for? Another basilisk spear?
No. Something more shiny and spendable.
Shall see. As long as it's not a bow, you can have it.
I use one of those every now and then. Flimsy little things.
He kind of, Taras kind of like starts to walk away and then kind of looks back and he kind of looks around.
By the way, nice shot.
And then he goes, Korak the hero. And he chuckles a little bit and says, I'll give you some shooting lessons next time. But then he looks over to Ishtar and just goes, nice shooting, by the way, Ishtar. Very good.
Does he say it just like that? So, like, condescending?
Well, no, he's trying not to be.
I'm trying not to be.
But I don't know. I don't think elves can really be not condescending.
Ishtar goes, well, I killed one.
I saw that.
The one that magically, like, fell apart.
He wasn't going to say anything.
No, Ishtar still thinks he killed it.
No. Tarask is okay with that. Oh, this is the elven sign for good shot.
Ishtar just kind of like looks at his bow, like confused by the thumbs up.
And Dane, perhaps you'd like to inform our friends that we are perhaps not done here.
I think he is away again.
Tending to a cake.
Dane says, shush. You'll make my cake sink in the middle. Stop talking.
I hear a cake, I think it's a portal.
So, I have secured lodging for us while we are here in Nala. At the... Have it written down here? Where did it go?
Rise and grind lunchroom.
Yes, rise and grind lunchroom. And I'm putting a fool out of his misery tomorrow in the arena.
Oh, is that still happening?
Of course it's happening.
Wouldn't this do enough to prove your worth to the city? Must you slay another man in a ring of sand?
He has portrayed me as a coward. Of course. This is
Correct.
honor.
As you two are talking, Ishtar starts playing the one hit I got big with the Korak's like gladiator song on the lute.
Tarask is not going to keep talking, but he's confused. He doesn't see how somebody who just fought all these things like in the middle of a square could be considered a coward by anyone. Like, it just doesn't, like, in his village, if you killed a whole bunch of monsters in front of everybody, there certainly wouldn't be any doubt. But he is going to chalk this up to humans.
And Trask, I think Dane's back if you had something to say to him.
Oh, but Dane, on a meta level, Russell, I had asked Dane in character if he wanted to share with our companions any news, like what they
I would share with them our experience with Daniel the Bookbinder, and that we were asked to bring the rest of our companions along because he had some things that he needed to show us and wanted us all to be involved.
What time of day?
And I would also tell them that not here and not now. Before we head there, I will explain to you the reasoning why we are going to see this person. in a
what
more
time of
private
day is
setting.
It is
that? Or
currently...
is this nighttime?
No, it's not nighttime. It is presently, the way we would understand it, about 2 or 3 in the afternoon.
Okay.
Great. So,
Post lunch, pre dinner.
so when do we need to meet this person?
I know that, at least it's my understanding, you have a impending engagement as well.
Yes.
When is your engagement?
It is tomorrow,
Okay.
if all can be arranged.
Then I would advise we go somewhere where we can have a somewhat private meeting before we head off to see Daniel, because there are some things I would like to have you all be fully informed before we go there.
He says ominously.
Okay. Well, we can go to the Rise and Grind lunchroom, where we have rooms made available for us. And I would know that they probably have private dining rooms where you can have, like, conversations with your agents and things like that without others overhearing, correct?
Yeah, this particular place, while it didn't start off as a kind of HUD for gladiators, over time, hence the name Rise and Grind Lunchroom, it began as kind of a cafe, lunchroom, bed and breakfast kind of thing. But then when the arena got really popular and it was customary for the bookies to find places to go, they found this place, and there's basically different levels. So like if you are top of the line gladiator, which you would be used to, you've got all of the best accommodations, and essentially you've got private rooms, you've got a private bath, you have servants, waiters, and private lunchroom, and all of that kind of thing that you have access to basically within it's a fairly large hotel, so you can have lots of space. There's a training space and all that kind of stuff. But then some of the lower gladiators, they would be delegated to, the smaller single rooms with service on call and that kind of thing. So it's definitely the better you do, the more perks you get kind of deal.
So with where we're going to be stationed, I'm going to be brought back to my childhood.
Your childhood?
My origin as a noble.
I got you. So, are you all heading over to the Rise and Grind then?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was muted. Sorry. Yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah, Ishtar agrees. That's probably our best option right now. Yeah.
Okay, you make your way out of the central town square, as it were, and you make your way back into the trade district, and you notice that the streets are pretty clear right now, probably because all of the commotion and destruction that was going on. A lot of people have just hunkered down for the day, just try to stay out of harm's way. That doesn't stop the occasional street vendor from attempting to peddle their wares on you and ask you information about what the heck just happened and all that sort of thing. But you eventually make your way to the Rise and Grind lunchroom. Not much has changed, Korak, since you were here last. And when you enter, you make your way to the front desk, where there is a man there, a human male, about 25 years old. Looks like he's kind of beefed up, might be an aspiring gladiator himself. Clearly does not want to be here, and he's filling out some paperwork at the moment and ignores you all entirely.
So I pound my fist on the counter.
Good heavens. And then he looks up and he sees it's you, and he's like, he kind of does a double take, and he's like, you're an orc. Are you Korak?
Yes. Herndon should have made arrangements for myself and my friends.
He says, and he fumbles with his stuff, and he's like, I grew up watching you fight. Oh my gosh, I can't believe you're here in front of me. And he drops a bunch of shit on the floor, and he's and he goes down to pick it up and everything, and he comes back up and he's like, yes, Herndon did. He brought us some things here, and here is your room pass, and you have 3 friends with you, correct?
Yes.
Okay, and I just need you to make your mark here on this piece of paper, and he hands you a little piece of paper.
I draw my X.
He looks at it and he's like, that is so cool. And then he puts it away, and he says, yeah, let me show you to your room. And he'll usher you guys to Korak, you're used to being ushered kind of off to the right and down a hallway. He'll take you down kind of a middle hallway, and he'll bring you into a space that is not quite as large as you thought it was going to be. And he looks at you and he says, is there anything I can get you? Is there anything you need?
Where's my usual suite?
He's like, well, Herndon, he set up for you to have this one, so I thought, you guys had this worked out.
Who's in my suite?
He says, well, there's many of the high quality suites. There's a few other gladiators there, but...
Is it Yathgeld?
He says, oh, no, they stay at a different inn. We would never have gladiators of different bookies here in one inn. That would be terrible.
Okay. Then food and drink.
He says, of course. And he snaps his fingers, and one male and one female human people come to serve you and take care of your needs and everything. So yeah, basically the gist is Herndon didn't give you the great the great thing you're used to. He gave you middle of the road accommodations.
I'm gonna have to talk to him.
Yeah, you get the sense he's probably being a cheapskate.
Furry, are you trying to say something?
Yeah. Are you guys getting anything?
Now I am.
Oh.
Yeah, no.
Okay, cool. I think it came out of the plug. I'm good.
All right.
And the young man, before he leaves, he says, oh, and by the way, I'm Arman. Arman Rasulev. And this is... Hold on. He introduces the waiters, basically.
Okay.
You can call them what you want.
Okay.
Their names are less important.
Okay. Francois and Gigi.
There you go. And every time you say that, they try to correct you with their real names, but you interrupt them instead. Perfect.
They still prefer that to Taras, though, because Taras just calls them both human.
I actually catch them aside, and I acquire their real names, and I make it a point to call them by their proper names.
Damn it. Okay, hold on.
No, you don't have to go that to that extent.
Ishtar will probably call him Korak, so you can call him.
We're not going to go that meta.
I've had a problem with my internet. There it goes. Okay. Kind of. What is going on with these websites?
Do any of the people that call them by the wrong name correct me when I call them human?
Yeah.
Human, get me water. It's actually Francois. It's actually not.
The male's name is Cole, and the woman's name is Valentina.
See, Rask say going, human, go get me water. Then goes, it's Cole. And then me and Park are like, oh, that's Francois.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yes, we could so go who's on first on this. Right? Not to. No, I'm.
Okay.
I've learned to tolerate. I've learned to
Frank Coleman.
understand their ways of being, and I just have my way of being.
Oh.
Yes. So
What?
if there was something to discuss, then
Yeah, once they get us food and drink, then I will say that we need privacy. I will ring when I need your services, Francois and Gigi. Until
I guess
then,
they see themselves out.
Yeah.
and we all turn and look at Dane.
This actually does make a good stopping point.
So
Yes, it does.
So this is how we end. Then they're about to leave. Tarask goes, human, bring us water. Then goes, Tarask, it's Cole. We're like, oh, that's Francois. Go get water. That's how we ended.
It's
Yes,
right.
perfect.
I don't care.